Hello, welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today it's part 3 of how to make a power pack. It's going to be quite an advanced one, well not advanced but full of features one, so that this will span over quite a few episodes. Today I'm working on the output for the 3.3 volts, 5 volts and 12 volts. I'll get that hopefully done and then I'll start on a next module. Let's get on. So the next bit I want to do is this bit here, or the next bit I'm doing, but instead of just doing the banana jack connectors, I've actually decided to add this one, which is this, to the bottom of that lot. Also, I've cut down the number I'm using. I'm having one 3.3 volts, one 5 volts, and then two 12 volts. All of them will have switches, and then there'll be two switches, or actually two buttons, for these ones. And I don't know what voltage to do those ones yet. I think I'm going to go 5 volts and 12 volts, but I'm not 100%. So this is what I've come up with. Each center of the cross is going to be switch, banana jack, switch, banana jack, switch, banana. So red and black, red, black, you know. And then down here where these dots are, that's going to be holes for the back tabs. And then these two here are going to be the buttons. But I need to cut all this out and then I'll talk you through it so you can sort of understand it a bit better as I go along. The first score you do, always do it very, very light. Because if it comes out of the groove, it's a lot harder to fix, if you get my drift. When it's the smaller cuts like this, you can wobble the blade down your cut, being very careful not to take your fingers off. And there we go. Bit of sanding and we're sorted. Now I've cut it all out. The holes I've marked for the corner screws are way too close to the corner, so I'll have to do that bit again. But now I'm going to punch some holes, well, hole punch, so I get it in exactly the right place, and then drill some holes. Okay, there's all the banana jacks in. Now for the switches. So off camera, I drilled these holes bigger to fit the switches and I've just placed them in. I haven't actually screwed them in or anything. And then I drilled out all the holes to make sure that it all fits exactly right. So that can be bolted in there like that. And I was just testing out what it looked like with everything on. What I'm going to do off camera now is I'm going to screw these in properly, screw this in, screw these in, and then I'm just going to quickly wire it all up and I'll show you how I'm wiring it up and why once I've done it. Okay, so that's it all wired up, and as you can see, I'm not going to be able to talk you through what I've wired up, so I think I'll draw a little diagram to show you. So you can see the black wire to the black banana jack goes off to the power pack. The red wire goes off to the switch, and another wire comes out from the switch. So the black and the red, one from the switch and one from the banana jack, connect the circuit when the switch is switched. Then we come down to the connectors, and they are just wired up in exactly the same way except for the push buttons. So the positive comes up to the switch, and the negative and positive from the switch go to the power pack, and vice versa on the other one. It's quite straightforward. The next part I'm going to work on is the audio out, and I'm going to decide what switches and buttons and knobs and so on I need for that. Okay, this area here is what I'm cutting out next, and it's only going to be a tiny little square area, and basically behind it the potentiometer side of things will be here and the switch will be here. And I am thinking about, rather than having a solid square, I might round off the corners just to make it look a bit different from the other modules, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Okay, there it is, all cut out. What I'm going to do now is just sand it and possibly round the edges. As I said, I'm not 100% sure. We'll just see what happens as I sand. Okay, there's the piece with the holes already drilled. The little smaller ones for the switch, the bigger ones for the potentiometer. I've checked them for size and they do fit. Now I'm just going to screw them in and then wire it up. One thing I've forgotten to do is the holes in the corners, so I'll do them first, I think. Now, the crosses I've done are a bit close to the edge, so I'll just go on the inside of the cross. Okay, there's the outer holes. They're very close to the edge, so I've got to be really careful not to use too big of screws. Okay, there's the switch in and the potentiometer. Now I'm just going to wire up the switch to the power, and that's pretty much where I'll leave it for this episode. Okay, so there's the wiring for the actual switch. Now, like always, I've made this wire really tight. Really short, I mean, so it only just fits in where it should. There we go, just in. Okay, so what's left on this one is the positive out and then the speakers, but I'm not going to bother wiring any of that up until we finish the entire project and I'm wiring the whole thing in. So that's the end of that module and the end of the video. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.